Welcome to the Heart of Real Estate podcast with Mike McFarland and Steven Salinas with the Mortgage Mike Group. On the podcast, Mike and Steven discuss with top producing real estate agents what makes them successful, unique, and purpose-filled. Each episode holds a key to unlocking a door to financial freedom. And we have a very special guest with us today. Yeah. We've got Deb Bly.
Yes.
Well, I have some special hosts here today, too.
Thank you so much for making the trip. Where are you coming from today?
Just a minute or two away.
Just a little. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So, we're down in League City, so
okay.
I'm sure people that are watching know where League City is, right between Houston and Galveston.
Yeah.
So.
And we are smack dab in the center of the city. So, it's easier for us to get everywhere. I used to live in Clear Lake, so I get to drive. So I totally understand the League City area. So. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming, Deb. We're really excited just to hear your story. The heart of this podcast is just to, share the stories of really successful leaders, entrepreneurs in the city. Mm-hmm. And we're excited to hear your story. So tell us a little bit about where you started and where you at today.
Yeah. Where we started.
Go as far back as you want.
We may go back a little ways, right? I got into before I did real estate, I was in construction, so I did contracting.
Okay.
So kind of the short part of that story is when I got into real estate, it definitely was when you know it's your fit, it's your fit. And it definitely was my fit. But I'll also tell you, you may have spoken to a realtor or two where it's just not as easy as you think it's going to be.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, my motivation was if I don't have to roof another house in August in Houston, I'm just going to do whatever it takes.
That's motivation.
Yeah. Because I mean, no matter how hard real estate can be, and especially if you're just starting, I see some people, I don't get that magic. For them, it seems easy, although there's not that many of them. For most of us, it's a grind to get started.
Sure it is.
But again, like I said, if I didn't have to roof one more house in August in Houston, real estate wasn't that hard.
Right. So that's pretty good motivation.
It was good motivation for sure.
Yeah.
How long, when you look at just starting from the idea of, okay, I'm going into real estate now, to feeling like, okay, this is a career, like you're making a living and then some, right? It's just not making the bills, right? It's beginning to just like build up into, okay, wow, I can do this and live comfortably and have a good life and give back to the community. How long did that take?
I'll let you know when I get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all striving.
Well, in all honesty, I don't feel like I'm there yet. As far as when is it a career? I mean, for me, it was a career from day one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I got into it, there was going to be no going back.
Right.
So from day one, it was a career. As far as when do I feel like I've arrived? I don't know. There's always more and there's always more. And, the other side of that is the bigger you get, the more needs you get, So I've got my director of marketing here.
Yes.
Beautiful, amazing, wonderful Amber. And then, we have transaction coordinators and, so as you get into more transactions and you get where you think you want it to be, you find out you need more to keep that going, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so you get into a place where, in all honesty, you have overhead and things to take care of. And so with that growth comes more responsibility, things to take care of. So short answer to that question is I'm not there yet. Probably don't know that I'll ever be there because if you're growth minded, and I think you guys are there too, right?
Oh yeah.
When will you arrive? There is no finish line for me.
Yeah. You kind of just have to look around every once in a while and just kind of just be grateful for the people that are around you. You you don't really realize like how far that you've come unless you kind of take time to reflect and just look around. Tell us about like your team. We got the pleasure of coming by your office, which is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all have maybe driven past some of the murals. Tell us about your team. Tell us about your office.
And again, you say, when do I wouldn't be anywhere. And I think just like you guys, like it's a group community effort where you guys are, you try and build a team where you guys are where we're all aligned, you know, with the
Yes.
same goals and same ambitions
Mhm.
and that kind of stuff. And then, so we have a team of 18 agents now. Is that right? Yeah.
Wow.
18 agents now. And then we have 4 people in-house that are staff, one that helps with operations, Amber, my marketing director that's here. We have a transaction coordinator, and then we have an inside sales associate that manages, you know, the lead flow and the distribution of leads and that kind of stuff out to the agents.
Okay.
And then in addition to that, we have 4 people that are virtual assistants. She's holding up a piece of paper. Make sure I don't miss anything, Amber. So we have 4 virtual assistants in addition to that help support the staff we have in office.
Okay.
So the 18 agents, are those all under the Bly team with
Yeah.
you? Okay, great.
Awesome.
Okay, and then one.
Oh,
commercial-
and
one
yes, that's
commercial
right.
person.
That's
Yeah.
right, Amber.
Thank you, Amber.
Feel free to, yeah. And so we also have somebody on our team that he manages our commercial division. And I mean,
Okay.
he
Yeah.
is he started off new with us. We hate to say new in real estate, don't we? Like, but he started off new with us right at about 2 years ago. And
Okay.
he's doing amazing.
Awesome.
In commercial, that's
In commercial.
crazy, right?
Wow.
And I
That's
mean,
such a hard
really,
one to
he's
break
doing
into.
amazing. And for those of you guys out there that think, oh, you can do residential and commercial at the same time, you really can't.
Yeah, they're
You
two
know,
different animals.
They're completely, that's like me saying I can do real estate and the marketing and the TC. And
Yeah.
I mean, you just
That happen.
can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to specialize, right?
Yeah.
We call it the acts of freedom. Find the 3 things that you're like, you love doing, you're good at, and makes the most impact. And then figure out how to just do that all the time. And
Yeah.
let's put people around us that do the other things.
Yeah.
So we can just stay in our lane. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I think we can kind of lean into the things that we love to do. I know Deb, your team loves to serve in the community.
Yeah.
And I personally was inspired just getting to hear the things that you're
Mhm.
doing in the community. And you even, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were a volunteer firefighter.
Oh, you said that right. You didn't say fireman. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you, it's, I mean, that's tough. I mean, that's serving the community, because I was definitely very committed to doing the firefighting and stuff. I did it. I just retired this spring, and it was just over 29 years.
Wow.
Just
But
29
it's
years.
hard to juggle, like, you know, really going into it in real estate and then really serving. That I ended up having to give up, not because I didn't love doing it, but because the time commitment,
Yeah.
you know, I just felt like I was juggling 2 different things that really, you know, I wanted to give the right time to and everything. At the end of the day, I had to choose. So I
Yeah.
still do community things, but they're not like, they don't require the time and the dedication that firefighting took.
Mhm.
So
Wow. And that's amazing. That's amazing.
Amber,
What were you
you
gonna say?
keep holding up your notes. You're free to, we can't see that, by the way. So you're just going to have to use your
You can
voice.
interject.
Say she's very involved with the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Okay.
Very involved with the chamber. You know, definitely anytime there's something that comes up, like we have an event coming up on the 19th. So if anybody wants to support that as well, we have an event coming up on the 19th. That's a special event just for the special needs children
Great.
that
Wow.
are here in our area.
Yeah.
Certainly, you know, whenever Harvey's hit,
Mhm.
yeah, we got very, 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 very involved with that.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, so, but those are, unlike the firefighting, those are like short-term events. So it's not the forever commitment, you know,
Right.
so you can do it for a period of time
Mhm.
and then you finish it. And then,
Mhm.
so that seems to work better for me right now.
Mhm.
Right. Right. When you so when you look at, so how do you see service tying into the Bly team? Like, how does that fit into, like, community service fit into the
The Bly
makeup
team.
of who you are? Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think community service necessarily fits into the Bly team. I
Uh-huh.
mean, although the team certainly gets involved,
Mhm.
I think it just fits into me and
Got
who
it.
I was, you
Got
know,
it.
so I was that
Mm.
way long before I ever Matter of fact, I was a firefighter way before I was a realtor. So
Okay.
that was just part of me way before I ever got into real estate.
Got it. Got it. So it just comes from a place of just, that's what your heart, that's
Yeah.
the heart of what you do. Right. And just giving back.
And
Sure.
I hear that, but there's that selfish side of it.
Mhm.
It sounds like you're giving, and in all honesty, I feel like what I receive is way more than what I ever get out of it, right?
Yeah.
So, that gratification of doing something, of impacting and helping somebody else where you feel like you make a difference, right?
Yeah.
That for me is receive. I hear giving a lot, but that for me is receiving more than it's ever giving. So
You naturally give.
Right.
I think we've already
We
received
just,
a few
for sure.
gifts already from Deb. Every time we see her.
That's so true. That is so true. And you actually, you inspire me in that idea of giving.
it's a Christmas season.
Yeah.
Oh, you should finish.
No,
I mean,
no, I'll jump
It
in.
is.
It's a Christmas season, and
Yeah,
you guys tell me, what gets you more excited during Christmas? Going out there and you can't wait to give that gift to people that you care and love about,
Right.
or you're just waiting to see what you get for a gift. And I think for most of us, right,
Right.
it's not so much what am I getting for presents.
Yeah.
Right.
We all get, I think most of us get way more excited about,
Mhm.
wow, I got this, I can't wait to give it to them, right?
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
if you look at it
So true.
that way,
Mhm.
it's really along those lines, right? You're more excited about the gifting and the gifting than you are about the receiving.
Yeah.
I think for most of us that are givers, right, it's not that exciting to receive,
Right.
but it's definitely exciting to give.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because you're really, you're whenever you give, and I feel like what you're getting to is like getting to see their reaction and getting to see like
Right.
them feel cared for,
Mhm.
appreciated,
Mhm.
known, loved. Those are the things that like really, like you said, it really kind of gives back to you.
Well, like I said, it's a receiving. I think
Yeah.
for most of us, right, we parents, children, people that are unhappy or not happy in work, I think I think within most of us, it's innate that we want to feel like we're contributing and making a difference, right?
Right on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say, I was go back to you've inspired me, Deb, because when we left your office, you're like, oh, hang on. And you gave us a tumbler, right? A Bly team tumbler, which my daughter quickly confiscated from
It's
me.
hers
By the
now.
way, she
Hey,
took
what did it say?
it.
Your movers and shakers.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And so she took it. She was like, oh, this is awesome. And she
Oh,
took
this
it.
is nice. I like the color.
And then we got another tumbler. It was just awesome. And I was like, that's so like, I felt that,
Yeah.
it's like, that was really nice. So you've inspired like Stephen and I in the idea of, cause we've had, like you guys got socks. I was like, what can we give Deb
Oh,
when she shows up? And I was like, well, we like to gift socks
Yeah.
because they're fun.
Yeah.
At least for us, they're fun. And so it was like, we can start doing socks and gifting socks. So
and it's funny, and I hear what you say, but it's like the tumblers and the shakers and stuff
Yeah.
that I gave you. When we go to like a chamber event or she's calling me again. When we go to a chamber event or whatever, when we walk in there with a couple of, with a bag in each hand and we're like giving things out to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're marketing, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's fun.
Right.
So
Yeah. And it's exciting.
It is
Yeah,
fun.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Like, and to receive it, it's like, it's cool. And I think on the other side, it's just nice as you give to see the response and the reaction. I see the
the Thanksgiving pies. Well, that's even better.
We gave away pies for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about the pies. People stopped by and they visited and they come to the
Mm.
office, and it was just a joy for us to be able to visit with the people that stopped by.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So creating community, like
Yeah.
community around your office, like, so getting a space to invite them in to receive a gift, a pie. I'm assuming this is Thanksgiving probably,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. And then they
I-
hung out with you.
I have to say, in years past, we're probably well known for giving out poinsettias every year, right?
Okay.
Yes.
And well,
We got
actually,
one.
it
It's so nice.
I know, let's go.
actually, it started with cookies, and it's like, man, you work all day long, and you get home at 6 and 7 o'clock at night, and then you're baking cookies all night long
Right.
to give out cookies the next day. So then we went to poinsettias, and what that was really cool, except that meant that, we would buy like 500 poinsettias.
Right.
And that meant we were watering them and picking off dead leaves and trying to get them out the
Right.
door
As fast as you can.
Yeah.
as fast as you could. So yeah, we're you want to give, but we're also trying to simplify. So
Right.
Yeah.
I completely understand that idea.
You,
We enjoy having people come to our office.
yeah.
love it.
Like,
Mhm.
it's so
Yeah.
nice for them just like how it pop by.
Yeah.
We like go pop by, a
Mm.
client's house, that we love to have people in our office.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
we can't ever get Amber, our marketing director. I'm not sure if her voice is coming over really well
I
here.
think our
We should have
microphone's
given
picking
her
up.
a mic.
We should mic her up.
It was
So
great.
I'm gonna mic you up.
I can't ever get
Next
her on
time.
camera.
Next time we're gonna get her on camera.
We'll pull her in.
Yeah. So I would, to what you were saying, Amber, in regards to the office space and inviting people in and like loving having them there. You really have a good welcoming space to bring people in. And also that upstairs portion of
Yeah.
your office is really,
Yeah.
like, I love the studio aspect that you've got, and like just because we do podcasts and
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah.
so it's
Tell
like,
us about
wow.
yours. You
Yeah,
you
tell
interview
us about
people in the
yours. Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
Hometown stories.
So I love that you guys are doing the podcast. And before we go into hometown stories, why don't you talk, Stephen, about what
Oh,
got you
yeah.
guys to start doing this podcast?
Oh man.
It's our vision.
I love vision.
Yeah.
If you know me, I love just having vision for everything we do. When Mike and I sat down for talking about this podcast, we realized, so it actually used to be called the Mortgage Mike Group podcast or something
Yeah.
like that. Mortgage Mike
We were
Speaks.
just trying to figure out what
We were like, we're not really sure what it's called. But now it's called the Heart of Real Estate
Mhm.
podcast. And why it's called the Heart of Real Estate is we believe that everything flows from our heart.
Yeah.
There's a scripture about that. You can check it out. But really we've just found the partners that we get to work with and the guests we get to have on.
Mhm.
I'm just passionate about hearing their why and hearing the heart behind what they do. And I really feel like people connect with the listener or the guest in a way that maybe it kind of gives them freedom to do things the way that you're doing things. Maybe they can try something different. We find that, this is a great resource for people in the industry that are doing things the right way, that are caring for people really well, that are using like great ideas to just make the city better. And yeah, we found that, this can be a really cool impact, bring some light and hope into the community. And yeah, we've been really excited to hear some stories. We met some really awesome people.
Gosh, we have.
Yeah, it's just been really fun. So I get excited every time we get to do one
Yeah.
and to meet new people, just to hear their story
Yeah.
and what drives them. It's been super fun. That's kind of that's my why for the podcast and where we're going is just to, just get it out there,
Yeah.
get it in the hands of people that just want to learn and grow and,
Cool.
just hear
Yeah, I
the
love
stories.
Yeah. Well, and when we started, the idea got more clear the more we did it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like we had this, we understood the vision. We just felt like, okay, we need to do this. What does it look like? And we started with just people we knew around us just to try to figure out, okay, let's just start. And then over time, it's evolved and we're beginning to understand like, okay, there's a common theme of just what's the story of the people we get to talk to and
Mhm.
their why and the heart of what they do. And so it's the interesting thing in this journey over the last years that the clarity's gotten better as the more that
Yeah.
we do it. Because in the beginning it was just like, this is a great idea. I'm not quite sure what we're doing. However, we're going to do it.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it.
We're just going to do it. And so here we are now. So
But yeah, it's been fueling us. I think each story we've gotten to hear, it's just been giving us a new
What
kind of
it's a gift
a new
for us.
perspective.
Yeah,
I agree.
it's a gift we get. every
Yeah,
time.
it's true.
Yeah.
We
so-
we are just it reaffirms the stuff that we're doing. We're encouraged that there's other people that are like us in the industry we're just
Yeah.
like, wow, there's some great people out there
Mhm.
in the industry.
Well, it connects you with those like-minded people, right?
Yeah, the like-minded,
Yeah.
the like-hearted people. Mike and I say that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking to connect with people like that, and just makes life easier.
Yeah.
You know,
It sure does.
we can impact a lot more people. But yeah, thanks so much for asking. We don't get
Yeah.
this is the first time we've been asked a question.
Right.
Um,
The table's on its.
she turned the tables.
That's when I came here.
Yeah, she did. She said, "I'm going to ask you guys some questions."
It's not just going to be about me. I want to find out about you too.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
like you had a really good one too.
Yeah.
You said, so a good question to ask you. We all
Mhm.
like those questions that we can,
Yeah.
right? So what would your young self, what advice would your future self or your now self
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
So
for your young self?
Yeah. As I like reflect on life and where I've come from, like so professionally, what I would tell I'll tell a little bit of backstory because the younger self, I got into sales was really easy for me just because it was a natural space for me to connect with people. And so when I got out of college and I landed in the mortgage industry, not as a loan officer, but in another capacity in sales, I had really quick success with it. One, just because of natural talent or natural skill, I should say. And but some things happened over like a time period there, like life kicked in and all of a sudden, you know, there was just a place of like great success and then like really just kind of falling apart. Right. And then dealing with a lot of just like self-worth issues. And I think if I to talk to that, not necessarily that 22-year-old that just got out of college, but that 30-year-old that was starting to really deal with like how do I make it in this world in regards to relationships and all of those things, I think I would just say, hey, Mike, you're worthy of everything, right? That everything's been put in front of you, you're worthy of it. And don't forget that, right? Because it's just so easy to allow that idea of like, oh my gosh, people I want them to like me and I'm afraid they're not gonna like me. Or what do I have to contribute that has any value, right? And those are all just kind of lies that begin to manifest themselves. And so I think I would just tell that 30-year-old, like, hey, you're worth everything, and just keep doing what you're doing, and don't believe the lies that your head's telling you right now, because those aren't true.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's a really healthy, I think that's coming from a really healthy perspective, Mike, because I think most of us have that, right? I mean,
Right.
we all
Yeah.
have that self-doubt. And I
For
think,
sure.
I think to some extent, if you don't, you're that narcissist.
right.
You're kind of crazy.
So I mean, that's a healthy part of growing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's vulnerable for you
Yeah.
to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, even to speak on that, I mean, he kind of, as he's realized that, I mean, me coming into the industry,
Mhm.
he's kind of sees, me coming into the industry probably around the similar time
Yeah.
that you did. And
Yeah.
also just kind of getting to speak life into our team. Like it is like, we're so thankful.
I'm
Like
thankful.
we're thankful. And I even am thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, the people are coming after me, like coming into the business after me. I have the responsibility now to like, do the same thing, right? Maybe
Yeah.
someone coming out of school, not really sure what to do. I remember before I came into the industry, I was looking for work for a while, and I was like, man, I'm gonna start selling newspapers on the street. Like it's like I don't know what to do. And yeah, coming to a place where I'm now, yeah, it's just like that. Like we all have a voice, we all have something to bring, and
Yeah.
the sooner you come to that realization, the better. And yeah, we're super fortunate, and we're excited just to continue to share that message just with people we come into contact with, right? We share that with them, our clients that are looking to buy a home for the first time, that deal with a lot of like I forgot the term, but just like kind of just they're afraid, right? They
Yeah.
they have this background of maybe they're the first person to ever
Buy
purchase a home,
in there. Yeah.
and they're really nervous or scared,
Mhm.
and you actually have to tell them like, hey, you're doing all the right things, you're on the right track,
I
you're getting there.
I have to love that a little bit. I'm going through a really important home purchase right now with my youngest son, first one of my kids to buy a house.
Wow. Okay.
And
Okay.
as he's coming to me at night talking at the table, he comes over to my house a lot lately.
For some advice.
He always came over a fair amount
Mom.
anyway, but he comes over now a lot
Mhm.
more lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like and I know, like we've all worked with those first time home buyers, or
Mhm.
even if it's your second or third, it can be a little nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But having it on the back end, it's great awareness for me. So
Mhm.
what I've seen on the surface, that nervousness, like I'm understanding there's another level of depth to it
Yes.
that I'm experiencing now as his mother. And I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking, yeah, these young people,
Mhm.
these adults that are buying their house for the first time,
Yeah.
makes me understand that I'm only seeing the surface. There's that other part that I'm experiencing now
Right.
with my son that's
Right.
really interesting to experience.
You're seeing the behind the scenes.
Seeing the behind the scenes.
Yeah, you're like,
so
oh wow.
yeah. So for you other realtors out there, I'm just going to say there's the behind the scenes of what you're seeing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you can actually, and I've seen the best like realtors we work with, they're able to even like get behind the scenes and be able to almost like counsel them
Yeah.
on a personal level. And then at the end of the transaction, they're friends, like they're
Yeah.
lifelong,
Oh my
clients,
gosh.
friends. We've seen that. We've seen like people that have, done like really hard jobs, like being a firefighter or being a teacher,
Right.
or
Being a teacher.
Right. Make
Man,
great real estate
kudos to
agents.
all teachers, because I think there's a harder job.
Yeah.
And one that doesn't get paid enough.
Oh,
At all.
it's I have to say of everything you mentioned, being a teacher to me is the hardest.
It's hard. And
I could never.
they just have like a care, like they see people and they just have a care. And yeah, if you can have that care and be able to focus on the client, not necessarily the transaction,
Right.
then you really can do an amazing job in this industry.
You had another question for us.
No, I was going
Amber.
to say, is like, as far as being a teacher, I will have to say that Deb mentors every agent
I believe that.
on our team.
Yeah.
Her door
I believe
is
it.
always open.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, so
I believe it.
From a leader standpoint, we talked a little bit through just community service. Well, and that's leadership as well, because you're leading by example. Yeah, as you mentor, like as you think about the agents that are on your team, yeah, as you think about mentoring them, where do you come from in that space?
I think most people that get into real estate, right? They come in there with dreams, ambitions,
Mm-hmm.
and thoughts. I mean, I did. I'm sure you guys did.
Yeah.
And okay, quick little backstory when I first got into real estate, and I'll just give you the short version of it. But I found out later, so I had interviewed with the manager at the office, and then I had come in there a week or two later after I'd gotten my real estate license, and I met the owner, and I heard about a year later, in the office, that she had immediately gone after I came and dropped off my paperwork and told the office manager there that I wasn't the kind of people they hired there. So which I mean, I can understand it. I probably had just come from a job, and but the thing is, the lesson is you can transform yourself to be anybody you need to be with the right desire, right?
Yeah.
And certainly I had to do a lot of transforming. So I won't say that she was ever wrong for saying that. I had to transform myself to get there. And when I look at the agents that come into the team, they may not be who they need to be at that day and at that moment in time to be successful in the business. But I have belief that if they have the desire, they can get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You can,
Wow.
it's almost like you can see for them what they may not be able to see just yet.
yeah.
And you can help call that out of them, right? Or call them to it.
So at the end of the day, don't make judgment. If you have somebody that has the desire, the right commitment, and the right desire and commitment are the two biggest things, right?
Yeah.
I think anybody can do it.
Right.
They just need to not give up.
Right.
Yeah.
Heart posture.
Yeah. They've
Heart-
got to be teachable and have the discipline. And that's really great.
Yeah. Humility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
So true.
I love it. I'm thankful. Yeah, just to hear your story, Deb. We're
Yeah, we are.
thankful.
So thankful.
I know the people that listen are gonna just be,
Well,
they're gonna be
grateful,
fortunate.
grateful to be here. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks both of you.
Yeah. You're awesome. Deb. I love what
Same.
you're doing. I love how you're doing it too.
Same.
We love it. So
Yeah.
cool. We signing off.
Yeah, we'll
All right,
sign
cool.
off. Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
for watching or listening to the Heart of Real Estate. And just stay tuned for the next episode. Comment, share,
Subscribe.
whatever those things are that
Yeah,
you need to do.
comment, share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
comment,
It's a
share.
great thing you guys are doing here.
Thank you so much.
See you
Okay.
next time.
We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of Real Estate podcast. If you found this episode thought-provoking and helpful, do us a favor and share it with 2 of your friends. Also, feel free to leave any comments or reviews. And if you want to learn more about the Mortgage Mike Group, reach out. We'd love to connect.